Alright, Shalom. I like to say Kahalayam, Wahawadla, Yahweh Basham, Yahweh Shai, Basham, Rakakudash. Right, double honors the apostles and elders of Great Millstone of well. Peace and blessing to the acrimony will that push us through to the four corners of the earth. Right, it's Brother Yarba here. Our title is What to Expect During Martial Law. I'll read this article here. It said Trump mobilizes U.S. military to end unprecedented riots, right? Which is seeing information coming out that this police looked like he was even somebody close, to that kind of agenda. These devils just work on plan things and cause and effect. You understand? You never know if they actually made him do that to actually cause this uprise so they could be able to implement certain things that they want to implement, because, just like the scriptures say, say the Revelations 12:12, right? It said, "Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he had but a short time." So he know he have a short time to do these things. So they just come up with different ways to actually implement chaos so that they could, bring the order out of chaos, as how their system and how they operate works, right? And now you're seeing a lot of laws being passed to even remove people's rights even further to so-called protect them. They say Washington, it said President Trump on Monday invoked a law from 1807 allowing him to send military forces to states rocked by unrest over the death of George Floyd. They say in a sudden White House Rose Garden address, interrupted by the songs of protesters being cleared out by police nearby. Now we know even in between these protesters, we have people who they put up to do all kind of craziness. You're seeing people from things like Ku Klux Klan and so forth, and certain white people, quote unquote, actually coming out and doing all kind of craziness. But they're trying to make it look like if it's a so-called black uprising. We'd have a lot of so-called white people in the mix doing a lot of craziness also, right? But the scriptures say we are not ignorant of Satan's devices. They say we cannot allow the righteous cries of peaceful protesters to be drowned out by an angry mob. They say Trump said, declaring himself the president of law and order, while blaming extremist groups such as Antifa for the unrest, right? It say I am mobilizing all available federal resources, civilian and military, to stop rioting and looting, to end the destruction. And that going and enforce people. I see here in certain places right now that have curfews enforced, so they will be enforced in time. Time curfews, you can't be able to leave your house. They was already enforcing certain things because of the corona. Whereas, you couldn't be able to interact with certain people, you couldn't be able to gather in crowds. And now they go and even enforce more laws now. And this could be a good justification for them to do so. Right? They say I am mobilizing all available federal resources, civilian and military, to stop rioting and looting. He said to end the destruction, he said, immediately mobilizing the Insurrection Act of 1807, which allows him to deploy troops anywhere across the nation. Right? And the scriptures talk about things like this, right? Let me go to second address. Second Ezra 15 or start. So if second 15 or start from 14, it say, "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein." It say, "For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands." You understand? And you will see we seeing small symptoms of this going on right now within the nation itself, and just now it's going to be on a large scale when it comes to war, as in one nation rising up against another nation. And those swords wouldn't be like the old-time swords. The modern-day sword is what? The gun, missiles, more technological things. It says, for there shall be sedition among men. And you're seeing that right now. We get our word. Right? Say there shall be sedition among men. It said the crime of saying, writing, or doing something that encourages people to disobey their government. And that's something you're seeing right now, uprising of the people. Right? Nobody don't care about laws and everything right now. You're seeing as it is put, anarchy or chaos. Right? Sedition among men. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another, looting, right? Robbing people. Right? It say they shall not regard their kings nor princes, because Trump telling them, he not for that, and they don't care. The police telling them stop it, they don't care. You're actually seeing all these prophecies happening in different ways right now. Right? It say they shall not regard their kings nor princes. It say, and the course of their action shall stand in their power. Right? It say, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. Right? And you're going to see good examples of that when it says to put on these restrictions. And these restrictions might even get worse after time. Sometimes they might not allow you to leave your house at all. You never know. Right? But these are things that you expect in times of martial law. You'll see a lot of chaos. A lot of neighborly crimes, a lot of restrictions. All these different things are things that you'll expect in things like martial law in a chaotic state, right? Because that's going to be their way of saying that they will try to control the situation by putting restrictions on the people, when really and truly this just working towards their agenda, right? It say, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. It say, for because of their pride, right? That American pride, the proud and the free. It say, for because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. I have a lot of people right now who over there, things being destroyed and they're afraid. You understand? To be in the midst of chaos is a frightening thing. And you're seeing all these things happening right now, and it go and get worse. And not you don't even have to worry so much about. You had to worry a lot about the people around you, but when the government actually start coming down on you through its military might, you understand, the devil coming down on you with great wrath. When it is they start coming down on you, it's gonna be something else also. Because I was saying that America, the army buying a lot of bullets. They say that thing they have how much bullets per person. I think they have, I forget what is the number, a certain amount of bullets per every American citizen. And somebody was asking why it is they're buying so many bullets. Because they expecting civil unrest. Probably because they was planning to usher in civil unrest. Because they have their agenda. They had to maintain population. They had to force the microchip, the RFID chip, which is the mark of the beast on people. They have different agendas that they had to complete. You understand? And they have different ways of going about it. We know all these things going on right now is just things that they're planning, and just looking for a way to bring it out. Right? Let's see. Right, it say, verse 18, it say, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed. It say, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods. You see it happening because of the lack, and this going to be something that going to take a strong case in America also. Lack of bread, famine, which is something the scriptures will talk about, and for great tribulation. All right. Let me go back to the article. No, sorry. They say it was last used in 1992 by President George H.W. Bush to quell a LA riot, which was sparked by the police beating of Rodney King, right? And there's the next reason why it's so it's so serious now, because there's something that police keep doing for the longest while and nothing keep coming out of it, right? But we know all of these spiritually, all these situations spiritually is the Lord stirring these things up. You understand? It's the Lord stirring this up because prophecy had to be fulfilled, right? Scriptures say the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. All these people who being stirred up to do these things is the Lord, making spirits stir them up, because these things have to happen. It says if a city or state refuses to take the action that is necessary to defend the life and property of their residents, then I will deploy the United States military and quickly solve the problem for them, Trump said of the act. Right? And we know there's something they want to do. They was even talking about the different colored dots on the mailbox and so forth. All of these things are part of an agenda. They say under the Civil War era, post Comitatus Act, it say federal troops are prohibited from performing domestic law enforcement actions such as making arrests, seizing property, or searching people. In extreme cases, however, the president can invoke the Insurrection Act, which allows use of active duty or National Guard troops for law enforcement, which is something the apostles was talking about before, about the executive orders, like saying in states of disasters or whatever the case may be, it have executive orders that they could be able to put into effect, that is take away more or less all your rights, right? All they need is like a justification to do so. It has some to take away, to stop all transport. It has some to seize property. It has some to detain you without reason. It has some to actually seize your assets. There are many different executive orders. It said the president's last-minute address came in juxtaposition to the scene outside. It said where a series of military vehicles rolled out from on Pennsylvania Avenue, and military police and law enforcement clashed with protesters at Lafayette Park. It said firing tear gas. It said flashbangs, rubber bullets, and pepper spray on a large but peaceful crowd. And there's something I was hearing somebody actually say, who actually in the midst of it also, that the police actually seeing people protesting peacefully and actually shooting them, which is supposed to even have a right to protest in the streets if you have a disagreement towards something, and the police actually throwing tear gas on them and shooting them for just protesting peacefully. And then when it actually started to get violent, then the media just jump in and film the cameras and make it look like if the protesters so bad. But we know how, like I say, we know how this devil does work. There's only like to portray one side of a story. They don't like to tell you the entire thing. They only like to tell you the side that's beneficial to them. And soon you'll actually see these things reach to the point where, martial law going to be implemented. They want to take away more of the people's rights. And then you'll start to see shit really kicking off. Because a lot of people go and try to fight against that martial law. You understand? But so for all those who are actually in the midst of that, it mightn't be everybody around the world, it primarily in America, and probably one or two other places might feel similar things to that, but it's primarily America. Mystery Babylon. Anyway, I hope I was edifying. With that, I say shalom.